Services involvement after his first birthday, until the day he'd been found by his mother's body. Ben might have been cute, but he was very curious and into everything. I peeked my head around the bathroom and found him about to flush a toilet roll down the loo. "Come on, you," I smiled, scooping him up. "Let's go to playgroup and you can have a good run around." He beamed at me in return and cuddled into my neck. Louise had the day off from her job as a nanny and was heading home to sort out some wedding stuff. "This is going to be a lovely home for you and Charlie," I told her, meaning it. "I'm really happy for you." "Thanks, Maggie," she smiled, walking us out to the hall. We were just about to leave when my mobile rang. I fished it out of my handbag and saw the familiar name flash up on the screen. "It's Becky," I told Louisa. "Would you mind keeping an eye on Ben for me?" I handed him to her and then quickly answered before it went to voicemail. Becky was my supervising social worker at the fostering agency that I worked for. We'd worked together for years and had a good relationship. "Hi, Maggie. Where are you at the moment?" "I was just about to head to playgroup with Ben," I replied. "Why?" "I think your plans might be about to change," she told me. She explained that social services were looking for a foster carer to take on a little boy who had suddenly come into care. "All I know is that his name's Tom, he's 8 and he's currently at school," she said. "He's already known to social services and, for whatever reason, they don't feel it's safe for him to go home today." As was often the case with children who came into my care, at this early stage, I didn't know what the issues were or how long he was likely to be with me. "Of course, I'd be happy to help," I told her. "I've got the room, and I'm sure Ben would love having another little boy in the house to play with." "Thanks, Maggie," said Becky, sounding relieved. I was hoping he'd say that. "I don't know the exact timings, but I suspect the social worker will be with you in the next couple of hours. They're just applying to the court for an EPO now, as his family are not willing to cooperate, apparently." An EPO was an emergency protection order, which meant that social services could remove a child they felt was in immediate danger without the cooperation of the biological parents. "Okay," I said. "I'll head straight home now." As I ended the call with Becky, I experienced that strange mix of anticipation and nerves that I always felt when a new child was on their way to me. I enjoyed the challenge of getting to know a new little one and trying to help them, but I was always apprehensive about what I was about to face, or what kind of state they'd be in when they arrived. "There's been a slight change of plan," I told Louisa, taking Ben off her. "We're heading home now after all." I explained to her about the new placement that would be coming to stay with us. "Gosh, okay," she said. "Why has the little boy been taken into care?" "I don't know yet, Flower," I said, but I knew that we would soon find out. As soon as I stepped through the front door, I got to work making sure the spare bedroom was ready for Tom, as well as digging out some clothes in his size. Several months ago, I'd fostered a group of 3 siblings, and one of them, Sean, was 7. So I had quite a few 7 to 8-year-old bits left over from when he was with me. I was assuming that if Tom was coming straight from school, then he wouldn't have anything with him. A couple of hours passed, and there was still no sign of Tom or the social worker. I gave Ben his lunch and put him down for a nap, and left Louisa to get on with sorting out wedding stuff on her laptop. Ben had been asleep for half an hour when I finally heard the doorbell go. I instinctively rushed to the door so the noise wouldn't wake him up. A woman in her 40s with long red hair was standing there, and she had a familiar face. "Hello, Maggie," she smiled. "It's been a long time. How are you?" "Liz," I said, suddenly realising who she was. "I'm well, thanks." I'd worked with Liz Fleming several years ago when she was the social worker for a little girl I'd fostered called Ruth. "This is Tom," she told me, gesturing towards the small figure beside her. I smiled at the serious-faced little boy standing on the doorstep. Compared to how some of the children I fostered turn up when they're first taken into care, he looked immaculate. His short brown hair was clean and neatly cut, and his pristine school uniform fitted him